In the not-so-distant future, Earth was a vibrant place. Cities bustled with people, and technology had reached new heights. Every day felt like a celebration of human achievement. Children laughed in the streets, families gathered for meals, and people looked to the sky with dreams of exploring the stars. Little did they know, their lives were about to change forever. One clear morning, a strange sight appeared in the sky. At first, it looked like a new star, shining brightly against the blue backdrop. But as the hours passed, the object grew larger. Panic spread through the streets as people pointed up, their eyes wide with fear and confusion. This was no ordinary star, it was a massive alien spaceship. The craft descended slowly, casting a long shadow over the city. Its surface shimmered with an array of colors, reflecting the sunlight in ways humans had never seen before. News channels went live, broadcasting images of the spaceship to millions of viewers around the world. Everyone watched in disbelief as the ship hovered above them, waiting for something to happen. Inside the ship, a group of aliens prepared to make contact. They were tall, with skin that glowed faintly and eyes that sparkled like jewels. Their leader, a stern figure named Zarlan, activated a communicator. "People of Earth," he announced, his voice echoing through the air. "We are the Vortans, representatives of the Galactic Empire. Your planet is now under our claim. Submit to our rule and you will be spared." Fear gripped the hearts of many. Families huddled together, unsure of what to do. But in the midst of the chaos, something remarkable happened. Instead of panicking, world leaders began to meet. They gathered in emergency sessions, determined to protect their home. They understood that giving in to the aliens was not an option. It was time to stand together. As they strategized, stories of courage and unity began to spread. A young girl, Emma, held her mother's hand tightly as she watched the news. "Mom, we can't let them take our home!" she exclaimed. Inspired by her words, the adults began to feel a sense of resolve. They remembered the strength of humanity and how they had overcome challenges before. Meanwhile, in military command centers, plans were being drafted. Scientists and strategists worked late into the night, brainstorming ways to defend Earth. They discussed advanced technology, weapon systems, and the importance of teamwork. The message was clear. They would send a strong response to the Vortans. Back in the streets, people began to rally. Demonstrations erupted filled with chants of "Earth will stand and we are not afraid." It was a beautiful sight. People of all ages and backgrounds coming together for a common cause. Signs were painted with slogans that expressed their determination, and banners waved in the wind like flags of hope. Then a bold plan emerged. Instead of waiting for the aliens to attack, humanity would take the initiative. They would send a message back to the Vortans loud and clear: Earth was not afraid. Preparations began to send this powerful message. Teams of engineers and soldiers worked tirelessly, creating a broadcast that would showcase Earth's strength and unity. As the days passed, the atmosphere on Earth changed. What began as fear transformed into a fierce determination. People trained, learned new skills, and shared ideas. They felt a sense of pride in their planet and their ability to stand up against a powerful enemy. Finally, the moment arrived. A massive screen was set up in the main square of every major city. Leaders stood before the cameras, ready to deliver the message. The world held its breath as they began to speak. "To the Vortans, we are ready for you. We will not back down, and we will protect our home." The message resonated through the airwaves, reaching the alien ship hovering above. The Vortans were caught off guard by humanity's unexpected courage. Zarlan watched as the broadcast filled the screens of his crew. His eyes narrowed. The humans were showing strength he did not expect. On that day, the people of Earth made a choice. They chose to unite, to fight for their home, and to send a clear message to the stars they were ready for whatever came next. The aliens may have arrived with power, but the spirit of humanity was stronger than ever. After sending their bold message to the Vortans, the people of Earth felt a surge of hope and determination. The world was buzzing with energy, and everyone was ready to work together. They knew they had to prepare for a possible attack and show the aliens that humanity would not back down. In every corner of the globe, countries joined forces. National leaders held meetings, discussing how to pool their resources and share their technology. They realized that alone they might be vulnerable, but together they could become a powerful force. Nations that once saw each other as rivals now stood side by side, united by a common goal: protecting their planet. As plans took shape, cities became bustling centers of activity. Factories that once produced cars and gadgets shifted to making advanced weapons and defense systems. Engineers and scientists worked long hours, designing machines that could defend against the alien threat. In schools, children learned about teamwork and bravery, inspiring one another to believe they could make a difference. Military bases across the world became training grounds. Soldiers trained harder than ever, learning new tactics and strategies. They practiced drills and simulations, preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. Among them was Sergeant Lucas, a dedicated soldier who had always dreamed of defending his home. He was determined to lead his team to victory, no matter the odds. Meanwhile, civilians joined in the effort. Many volunteered for training, eager to help defend their planet. They formed community groups, learning how to use technology and basic combat skills. Emma, the young girl who had inspired so many with her words, became a symbol of hope. She led her friends in neighborhood meetings, urging everyone to come together. "If we work as one, we can protect our home," she declared, her voice filled with passion. As the days turned into weeks, the preparations grew more intense. People painted murals in the streets, celebrating their unity. Messages of hope and courage filled the walls, reminding everyone of the strength within them. "Together we stand, and Earth is our home," became the rallying cries that echoed throughout communities. On a bright Saturday morning, a massive rally took place in the heart of a major city. Thousands of people gathered, waving flags and chanting slogans. They showed their support for the soldiers and scientists working tirelessly to protect them. Leaders spoke passionately about their commitment to defending Earth, igniting a fire in the hearts of the crowd. In the midst of the excitement, word spread that the Vortans had begun moving their fleet closer to Earth. This news only fueled humanity's determination. They understood that time was running out, and every moment counted. The military quickly organized a simulation of what a real battle might look like. This exercise would test their skills and strategies. On the day of the simulation, soldiers lined up in their uniforms, ready to show what they had learned. The skies filled with the sound of drones buzzing above as teams took their positions. The leaders called out commands, and the troops moved with precision, their training evident in every step. It was a sight to behold, men and women working together, united for a common cause. The simulation was intense, and as the day went on, the soldiers fought valiantly, mimicking the tactics they would use against the alien fleet. They faced simulated attacks from enemy drones, using teamwork and courage to overcome the challenges. The atmosphere was electric, and the sense of camaraderie grew stronger with each drill. As night fell, the soldiers gathered to discuss what went well and what could be improved. Sergeant Lucas stood before his team, pride swelling in his chest. "We've shown that we can work together," he said. "This is just the beginning. We are ready for whatever comes our way." The civilians, inspired by the soldiers' dedication, began organizing support efforts. They collected food, water, and supplies for the troops, making sure that those defending Earth had everything they needed. Schools and businesses participated, creating a wave of support that strengthened the bond between civilians and military. With each passing day, humanity grew closer to being ready for battle. They had come together, overcoming their differences and fears. They believed in each other and the strength they found as a united front. As they prepared for the inevitable confrontation with the Vortans, the spirit of Earth shone brightly. They were not just fighting for their lives, they were fighting for their future. With preparations in full swing, Earth stood on the brink of a monumental moment. The Vortans were approaching, and humanity was ready to send a powerful message. In the hearts and minds of people everywhere, there was a shared understanding. They would not be passive victims. They would stand up and fight for their home. As the alien fleet drew nearer, Earth's leaders gathered in a large conference room filled with maps and screens. They knew they needed to make their message loud and clear. General Thompson, a seasoned military leader, spoke first. "We have trained hard, and now it's time to show the Vortans that we will not be intimidated. We need to let them know that Earth is not an easy target." The leaders agreed. They decided to send a live broadcast from several locations around the world, showcasing humanity's strength and unity. The plan was to project images of military might alongside the voices of everyday people, all declaring their readiness to defend their planet. Teams of technicians worked quickly to set up cameras in major cities. They set up stages in bustling squares, where people could gather and participate in the broadcast. As the preparations unfolded, excitement rippled through the crowds. News reporters rushed to cover the event, bringing viewers from all corners of the globe into the heart of the action. On the day of the broadcast, the atmosphere was electric. Thousands of people filled city squares, holding signs that read, "We are ready," and "Protect our home." The sun shone brightly, symbolizing hope and unity. The streets echoed with chants of encouragement as humans from every background came together. The broadcast began with images of soldiers in uniform standing tall and proud. Next, the camera cut to engineers in labs, showcasing the advanced technology they had created to defend Earth. Then it shifted to children, like Emma, speaking about their hopes for the future. "We want a peaceful world," she said passionately, her eyes shining with determination. "But we will fight for it if we must." As each speaker took the stage, the message grew stronger. A mother shared her story of protecting her family, while a farmer spoke about the land they cherished. "We are not just fighting for ourselves," he said. "We are fighting for our children and for every living thing on this planet." Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. The military leaders addressed the audience. General Thompson stood at the forefront, his voice steady and firm. "To the Vortans we send this message: Earth is not yours to take. We are united, and we will protect our home at all costs. We are ready for you." As the broadcast continued, the screens filled with scenes of unity. People of all races, ages, and backgrounds stood together, united in their cause. The world watched as citizens marched, holding hands and singing songs of peace, sending a powerful signal that humanity would fight together. The final image was a breathtaking display of light and sound. Fireworks erupted in the night sky, illuminating the faces of hopeful citizens below. It was a celebration of their determination, but also a reminder that they were ready to defend what they held dear. Meanwhile, high above Earth, the Vortan ships loomed, observing the broadcast in disbelief. Zarlon, the Vortan leader, watched the message with a furrowed brow. He had expected fear and submission, not unity and strength. "These humans are different," he muttered, concern creeping into his voice. "They are rallying together. This will not be easy." As the broadcast concluded, the world erupted in cheers. People embraced one another, tears of joy and determination streaming down their faces. They had come together as one, and for the first time they felt truly powerful. In the days that followed, the broadcast had a ripple effect. Inspired by the display of courage, more and more people volunteered to help. The factories worked around the clock to produce the necessary equipment, and communities organized rallies to support the troops. Everywhere, a sense of purpose grew. Humanity was no longer a scattered collection of individuals. They were a united force, ready to face the unknown. They had sent a clear message to the stars: Earth was a home worth fighting for, and they would stand strong against any threat. Together, they were ready for the challenge ahead. The day of the showdown arrived, and tension filled the air. The Vortan fleet hovered ominously above Earth, their massive ships casting shadows over cities. People everywhere held their breath, waiting for the confrontation they had prepared for. Humanity had trained and rallied together, and now the moment had come to defend their planet. In military command centers across the globe, generals and strategists studied their maps and screens, tracking the alien vessels. General Thompson stood at the center of it all, giving orders to his troops. "Stay focused, everyone. We have trained for this, and we will show the Vortans what humanity is capable of." As the Vortans initiated their attack, laser beams shot down from the ships, striking major cities. But Earth's defenses were ready. Soldiers activated their newly developed weapons, firing back with precision. Explosions lit up the sky, and the sounds of battle echoed all around. The fight had begun. In the heart of the chaos, Sergeant Lucas led his team into the fray. They were stationed near a city where the Vortans had aimed their firepower. "We can't let them destroy our home," he shouted, rallying his team. "Stay sharp and cover each other. We fight for our families." With each passing moment, the battle intensified. Soldiers maneuvered through debris and ruins, using every bit of training they had received. Emma, now a symbol of hope, had gathered her friends to help with the logistics. They organized supplies for the troops, ensuring the soldiers had what they needed. "We believe in you," she shouted, her voice strong amidst the chaos. Above in the sky, fighter jets soared, engaging with the Vortan ships. Pilots executed daring maneuvers, evading laser blasts while returning fire. Each pilot was determined to protect their planet. Captain Reyes, a skilled pilot, led his squadron with courage. "Keep your formation! We need to take out their weapon systems," he commanded, focusing on the enemy ships that loomed above. As the battle raged on, humanity's unity shone through. Soldiers, pilots, and civilians worked together, each playing a vital role. The teamwork that had formed over weeks of preparation became apparent. Earth's defenses were holding strong, and the Vortans began to realize that their initial underestimation of humanity had been a grave mistake. However, the Vortan leader, Zarlon, was not one to back down easily. He ordered his forces to intensify their attacks, deploying larger ships to create havoc. "We will show these humans that they are no match for our power," he roared, confidence surging through him. But Earth's forces did not falter. With a combination of strategy and bravery, they began to push back. Ground troops launched counterattacks, targeting the alien forces with missiles and explosives. The streets became battlegrounds, filled with the sounds of conflict and determination. In the chaos, Lucas's team found themselves cornered by a group of Vortan soldiers. "We can't let them take this position," he shouted, and with a fierce resolve, they fought back. The clash was intense, but the humans' training and unity began to turn the tide. Together, they overpowered the alien soldiers, driving them back. As the hours passed, the battle continued. But the tide was shifting. Reports came in from various fronts that humanity was holding their ground. The Vortans were losing ships and troops. The determination of Earth's defenders was proving stronger than the Vortans had anticipated. Finally, Captain Reyes saw an opening. "We need to strike at their command ship," he called out to his squadron. The pilots rallied together, their eyes set on the Vortan flagship, which hovered like a dark cloud over the battlefield. They launched a coordinated attack, firing missiles and lasers in perfect unison. The strike was devastating. The command ship shuddered and began to break apart under the assault. Zarlon watched in horror as his forces faltered. "Fall back! We must regroup," he yelled, realizing that the humans had turned the tide of battle. As the Vortans retreated, cheers erupted across Earth. Soldiers, civilians, and families celebrated their victory, knowing that they had defended their planet against an overwhelming threat. Lucas embraced his team, gratitude and relief washing over him. "We did it! We showed them what we're made of!" he exclaimed, joy lighting up his face. In the aftermath, the world united in celebration. They had faced a formidable enemy and emerged victorious. As the sun set on the horizon, casting a warm glow over the Earth, humanity stood strong together. They had sent a clear message: Earth would not be an easy target. They were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The spirit of unity and determination had triumphed, marking the beginning of a new era for humankind. In the aftermath of the epic showdown, Earth was forever changed. The streets, once filled with the sounds of battle, now echoed with laughter and joy. Humanity had come together to celebrate their victory over the Vortan threat. People hugged each other, grateful for their lives and the safety of their homes. The unity they had forged in the face of danger now brought them closer than ever. In a central park in New York City, a grand celebration was underway. Thousands gathered to honor the heroes of the battle. Flags waved high, and the air was filled with music and cheers. Emma, the young girl who had inspired many, stood on stage, ready to address the crowd. "Today, we are not just survivors, we are warriors. We showed the universe that Earth will stand strong," she shouted, her voice ringing with passion. General Thompson stood beside her, proud of the resilience of his people. He took the microphone after Emma, his voice steady. "We fought not just for ourselves, but for our future. Together we have built a new world, one where we will protect each other and stand united against any threat." As the crowd roared with applause, a sense of hope filled the air. People felt a bond that transcended their differences. The victory against the Vortans had opened their eyes to the strength they possessed when they worked together. However, not all was forgotten. Many remembered the destruction the battle had brought to their cities. Buildings lay in ruins, and some families had lost loved ones. As the celebrations continued, a sense of responsibility also grew. They knew they had to rebuild, and they needed to do it together. Lucas, the brave sergeant, stood with his team, still buzzing from the thrill of victory. "We fought hard, but now we need to help our communities heal," he said, looking at his friends. Let's get to work and support those who need it most. Inspired by Lucas's words, the team sprang into action. They organized volunteers to help clear debris and rebuild homes. Across the world, people joined hands to restore what had been lost. In cities where destruction reigned, new life began to blossom. Children played in the streets again, laughter replacing the echoes of battle. As the weeks turned into months, Earth began to heal. People shared resources, tools, and skills. Engineers and builders worked side by side, creating stronger buildings designed to withstand any future threats. They turned their experiences into lessons, ensuring that the next generation would be prepared for whatever lay ahead. Meanwhile, the world's leaders held meetings to discuss their newfound unity. They realized that the Vortan encounter had shown them the importance of collaboration. Countries that had once been rivals now joined forces to create a global alliance. "We must stay united," one leader declared. "Together we can face any challenge and protect our world." As the alliance formed, communication with other planets became a priority. Scientists and diplomats worked tirelessly to ensure that Earth was prepared for any future encounters, whether friendly or hostile. The message was clear: Earth was not to be underestimated. Back in the park, Emma watched the celebrations with a smile. She had seen her community come together in ways she had never imagined. "We are stronger together," she thought, feeling a warmth in her heart. It was a truth that resonated with everyone around her. Then, on a clear day, a new message arrived from the stars. A ship descended from the sky, not with weapons drawn, but in peace. It was an ambassador from a friendly alien race who had heard of Earth's bravery. They came to offer knowledge and friendship, recognizing humanity's potential. The crowd gasped in awe as the ship landed. General Thompson stepped forward, welcoming the visitors. "We are open to understanding each other," he said with a firm handshake. "Let's learn from one another." With this new alliance, humanity stood on the brink of a new chapter. They were ready to explore the universe, forging friendships instead of battles. Hope filled the air as Earth prepared to take its place among the stars. As the sun set on the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, humanity looked forward with excitement. They had turned a page, leaving behind the fear and uncertainty that had once gripped them. Now they were united, resilient, and ready to embrace the future. A new hope had emerged, one that promised a bright and harmonious existence among the stars. Together, they had shown that Earth was ready for anything.